I would see the paintings as an enabling thing, enabling people to feel and to touch maybe things in their own lives.
What I like about this picture is I like the seascape, and it actually reminds me of being down visiting my parents on the Firth of Clyde, where you're looking out. If you're on the Esplanade, you're looking out across the Clyde. You can see Cumbria, you can see Bute, you can see Arran, and I'm almost expecting the Waverley to come past. There's something very calming about being by water, and again, quite often when I'm in a sort of visiting family, Lars go out sailing, and it's great to be out on the water and just be completely detached from the land and those that are around you. You do go into a bit of a sort of quite a compact personal space. It's like a bubble, if you like. But there's with the exception of the people that are on the boat, nobody else is sort of close to you, and it gives you that. Not solitude as such, but it does detach a bit from some of the sort of stresses and strains of everyday life. So it evokes all these feelings, this painting.
Well, I don't know the corridor. I've never been in it, although I've heard about it. I'm a bit equivocal about how people look at pictures, and maybe look at my pictures. But I'm inclined to think, the post-impressionists and post-impressionist painters had this thing about the person who looks at the picture takes to the picture their own preconceptions and their own life and their whole life story, and that affects profoundly the way they look at the painting. This sounds affectation, but it's not. I'm not a fan of my own painting. I'm always dissatisfied. But sometimes you do something and you think, that's okay. What did I do there? And I'm not very sure what I did, but there it is, And a lot of the time, the painting consists of working over an area and standing back and saying, oh, what the hell, lift it out and come at it again. It's a kind of trial and error, but it's like a conversation. It should be, in my mind, a conversation, a testing of what's happening here against what's happening there. Is that it? No, that's not it. Is that it? No, it needs that. Or that kind of thing. There's one. There's another one. There's a particular favourite. Now, those are dry, and I use them dry on the painting, and I move the paint about on the surface. And so I put the paint on very, very wet, running, and the darker parts are not quite so wet. And I use the dry brush to move it about to get the light and shade, or create the form, particularly creating the form. It's a very, very simple way of painting. It's a very straightforward, simple way. It goes direct from my sight through my arm and onto the panel. It's not built up bit by bit. It's there. If it's not there, it's out, and I try again. Oh, yeah, I mean, physically, yes. If you've been painting 4 hours outside in the cold weather, and here it's hard work, but it's a good deal less harder than the bin man who was at the door today loading bins on. So that's not a consideration. The hard work is the conception, the thinking, the testing of ways of doing things. Will that work, or will that work? We'll try that, or try, But I think the best paintings that I do, and I'm not talking about this in an absolute sense, I'm talking about relative to all I do. The best things that I do are the ones which are done in one breath, as it were. That there's an overriding thought or an overriding concerted series of movements that come together like a sentence or like a stanza in a poem, or like a passage of a Sibelius symphony or something, where it all seems to fit, be part of a totality. That, I would say, is, when that happens, that is satisfactory. That is something to enjoy.